plan for the MSA sector in 2011. Today we do. Nothing coordinated in 2011. Today we do. We have SME Council at state level, 17 of them. 2011 we did not. SMEDAM was in 13 states of the Federation in 2011. Today SMEDAM is in all the states of the Federation, so that they can meet with the grassroots. BOI was in a few states. BOI is also going to be in every state of the Federation, so that they can lend easily to people at the state and grassroots level. Number of cooperatives in 2011, 3,600. Today we have 55,000 cooperatives with more than 800,000 members. Next slide. Next slide. Again, this is about trade. Just to say that the trading relationship has changed. It used to be America number one. Today is India. India is number one trading partner in Nigeria. What have we done? We've done aggressive approach to deepening trade with our new number one trading partner. I was in India a few weeks ago, where I met with all the ambassadors in Asia to talk about our investment strategy and trade relationship with all the countries in Asia and the approach. And I'm delighted that all of them responded, right from South Korea to Thailand to Philippines to China, all over, to Pakistan. They were all there because the game has moved from the west to the east. Africa and Nigeria today is focusing and facing more the eastern economies than the western economies. So it was important to deepen our relationship. That was why it was a successful mission there. On trade, these are all the things we have achieved in terms of trade. And NEPC have two major initiatives on trade. One is a Nigerian diaspora export program. We have so many Nigerians in the diaspora. They should be our agents selling our products. And because of that, we're entering into a relationship with the Nigerians in the diaspora, setting up shops and businesses to export our goods from Nigeria to the United Kingdom. Already an association has been set up in the United States and in America. The next thing we're doing to diversify our economy is OSOP. OSOP is one state, one product for export. And there are some national strategic products for export. The national strategic products include cocoa, for example. That was why the Minister of Agriculture and I were at the summit about 2 weeks ago. In cocoa, 3 countries in Africa, in West Africa in fact, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, and Nigeria, actually produce 76% of the cocoa beans of the world, valued in total at $10 billion. But when you see the value addition, the total value is $200 billion. So we're missing out in the value chain, and the idea is to go across the value chain. If you look at palm oil, in the 60s, in the 70s, Nigeria was number 1 producer of palm oil. We have been overtaken by Malaysia, Indonesia. Indonesia produces more than 40 million metric tons, exports 18 million metric tons of palm oil, and actually that accounts for almost more than what the federal government earns in terms of revenue. Malaysia has done the same thing. They produce more than 18 million metric tons, export 17 million metric tons of palm oil. We can do the same and more. That is why palm oil is one of the strategic products in our OSOP national products. We are looking for one product for each state that will be exported from this country and that will generate significant revenue. Next slide. Transformation projects that you expect to see, Okonjo-Iweala is going to be the first petrochemical industrial city. The Centenary City is going to be Nigeria's premier modern city. If you look at the Dubai Financial Center, the person who actually built that is the person coming to build the Centenary City. It will be truly transformational and will create jobs. And then for the first time, we are the first ever commercial and financial city. And of course, the Independence Building in Lagos is now being converted to National Trade and International Business Center. So there are transformational projects on the way. In terms of investments, you already know that in the last 2 years, or within the last 3 years, Nigeria was ranked number 1 destination for investment in Africa. We have never been there before. You already know that Nigeria is ranked number 4 in terms of return on investment. Next slide. If you look at FDI and FPI, in 2009, it was about 5 billion. Today, 2013, it's 21 billion. That is the progress we have made. Next slide. If you look at the Wall Street Journal Frontier Market Sentiment, actually ranks Nigeria as number 1 in terms of, in 2014, amongst the 200, there was a survey amongst the 200 US and EU multinationals about which country they would be looking at investing in. And Nigeria was ranked number 1 by those 200 companies. Next slide. In terms of where the trend, where we're seeing projects going to, if you look at FBI tracking, in 2010 there was no tracking. 2011, 15 billion. Q3 2014 is about 59.6 billion. Where are the investments coming from? Dangote alone, a local investor, is investing $16 billion into the Nigerian economy. That's 16 billion. 9 of that is going to petrochemicals, integrated petrochemical plant, which when completed in 2018 means that Nigeria will no longer import petroleum products into this country. We have the likes of GE investing about $1 billion in the economy. Bakri Group, $1 billion. We have Indorama, 1.2. We have Lafarge, 625. We have P&G and the others, just to name some. Next slide. We have, in terms of largest investments, we have the world's largest cement plant in the world today because of investments into the cement sector in Abuja. We have Olam, the largest rice mill in sub-Saharan Africa. We have P&G. We have the metals sector also represented. We have the largest oil and gas city, services and industrial city in One. Next slide. So these are things we are working on. The pipeline investments are coming to other sectors. Investment is coming from all over the world. That chart tells you that we're attracting investment all over the world. Next slide. Let's go to the quick sum. In terms of all roads lead to Nigeria, we have had trade visits from China, from France, from Poland, from United Kingdom, from Turkey, from United States, from Kenya, from Canada, from Switzerland, from Pakistan, from Germany, from Netherlands, from Brazil. All within this period. We have never had it so good in this country. Next slide. I think business, next slide. Next slide. Overall, we have reduced the cost of doing business in terms of when you want to register business with the CAC by 50%. Next slide. This is in terms of company registration. More companies are registering. Businesses are doing well in the country. Next slide. And of course, as the meaty team, I'm delighted to say to you that we have embarked on 61 reform programs to reform the whole entire economy as they relate to investment, trade, and industry. I have a list of the 61. After that, one by one, you go through that. But there are 61 reform programs, which together with the CEOs here, we have all worked together to embark upon. And out of those 61, there are 12 game changers for this country. Next slide. Next slide. So this is my final slide. You can now feel comfortable. This is my final slide. So we embarked on 62 reform programs, 12 game changers. The final conclusion is that the foundation is laid. The direction and vision is very, very clear. We just need to sustain and build on the successes. The future of this great country cannot be brighter. Thank you very much.
Honorable Ministers, the Senior Special Assistant to the President, that was vintage Dr. Olusegun Aganga. Honorable Minister of Industries, Trade and Investment. They say where I come from that if you have things to say and there's a platform to say it, what do? You want to talk. So he wanted to talk and he spoke. Thank you very much, sir. That was smooth. I want to say that is every inch a smooth talker and a man who knows his onion. Yes, he didn't say something. And I know something new is coming from this table of the Honorable Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment. As a way and as a strategy to stimulate the economy further, and of course to encourage investors in the economic space of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the top 100 businesses in Nigeria are going to be acknowledged, identified, and rewarded by Mr. President come 1st of December this year. That's something, a committee is already in place under Mr. Jim Obaze, Chief Executive Officer of the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria, with the BOI Managing Director and other, Mr. Segun Awolowo and others are there. A lot is being done, and a lot will still be done. We are moving on. I told you this is not a talk show. It's an interactive session. You will ask questions. The opportunity is coming. We are going to invite now straight the Honorable Minister of Finance and the Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mrs. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala.